Bada bing bada.
Hi.
Hi. Wow. It's been like, what, 2.5 weeks?
At least.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of sorry to bail on you guys. We had Christmas.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Woo. How was your Christmas?
It was good. It was very cozy, and the boys had a blast. They set an alarm for 7 a.m. We said
Ooh,
no earlier
good.
because in the past, they have gotten us up at like 5 a.m.
Mm-mm. That's a bit too much.
Yeah, so we said no, not a chance. They spent most of the day building Legos, so it was pretty epic.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
It was pretty uneventful. My brother got me a taser. I don't think I've told you this yet.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's got like the prongs that like, the ones that shoot out.
Yes.
It's got
Yes.
it's got like a little laser beam that shows you where the prongs are gonna go. And you can prong people with the taser.
You can prong people, Tori.
Yeah. So it wasn't really on my wish list, but now I have a taser. So
Those tend to be the best gifts, I feel like. When you
hmm
don't ask for it,
and
that's
this was
epic.
Webster. I feel like that's worth mentioning.
I kind of assumed that feels appropriate.
Yeah.
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 Great gift,
Um
Webster.
yeah. It was pretty chill. I think Finn had a great time. He got a Miss Rachel doll, and I think the highlight, my mom got him this little veterinarian kit, and he seems to really like that. So yeah,
That's adorable.
but yeah, it was a great time. It was just my immediate family this time, which was super nice. A lot of times we'll have like extra people in, which is also nice, but it was cool just to, have the tight knit gathering this time.
Yeah.
New Year's will be just around the corner. So happy New Year's to everyone. Do you have any plans?
No, more
Yes.
low key vibes. I would really, really love to try to get some hair gems for
Oh,
James.
yes.
And one thing that my husband's family started doing a few years ago on Thanksgiving and Christmas, they always have Martinelli's sparkling cider for the kids, which I
Oh,
think
that's
they get
fun.
so excited about. And so we did that again on Christmas, and I just want to make sure we do that on New Year's.
Oh,
And the sparkly hair gems and some cozy
yes.
PJs, like just be cozy. But I think the boys will probably both stay up and
Ooh,
hang out.
is this the first year that they've both stayed up till midnight?
Yeah, James has tried in the past and he just tuckers out, but I think with the right amount of hot chocolate, I think he could make it.
Nice. That's going to be so fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm right on board with you. It might just be me and baby. May go to my parents and stay at their place, but I don't know. I'm kind of leaning on just like nothing. Maybe play some video games. I don't think
Yeah,
Finn's going to make it till midnight, so
that's fair.
yeah.
Yeah, I just really want to color. I want to get back to my coloring book and finish my eclectic frog
Oh, yeah, yeah.
thing. I still haven't finished that,
Mhm.
but I'm very close. So I want to finish that. And I also would love to finish reading Throne of Glass 3, book 3.
Oh, we're already on 3.
Yes,
Okay.
and I have so many updates
Okay.
when we get
Cool.
there for book 2. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hmm.
Excited for that. So, Amber this week is, Lord help me, Celestial Vampire Witch. Oh, no, I have that. That's great. I
Yeah,
love
you did a
that.
great job. That is what I am.
Mm.
James and I decided. He has a similar title. He didn't have Celestial in his. I was trying to tie Xenon
Yeah.
into my
Oh,
entire
of course you
being.
were.
I still don't know that I quite got it right because I didn't put fairy in there, but
Okay.
celestial, mermaid, vampire, witch.
I think you could squeeze it in there like Celestial, Fae, Vampire Witch.
I like that.
Mm.
Celestial, mer vampire, fey witch.
Okay.
Fey
Yeah.
witch because mer vampire.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
Just like balancing.
Yeah, evens it out.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
that feels right. Tori this week is so long eras, which actually hurts my soul.
Yeah. Sorry to bring it back up because it kind of got brushed under the rug because we had Christmas and like
Yeah.
things kind of.
Yeah. I don't feel like we actually mourned it properly because I need to wear an actual funeral outfit
Mm.
and we need to do what's the one procession she does where they're like really marching? What song is it?
Well, there's Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, but then there's also My Tears Ricochet.
That's the
That's
one
the
I'm
funeral
thinking of.
one.
That's the
Yeah.
one I'm thinking of, but like mixed with like maybe both vibes
Oh, I love
together.
that. Yeah. Hmm.
So we do need to have a funeral night, I guess.
We should, yeah. Maybe we should make like black cookies somehow.
Yeah.
That feels like black chai cookies.
And we can make like spooky black drinks, but they sparkle.
Ooh. Ooh. That feels so right.
Really witchy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
find orbs.
I was gonna say we have to have the willow orbs. So for updates this week,
I can't believe that I didn't add bridges or pencils to my list of irrational fears. Okay. Actually, bridges is not really irrational, but the
no.
way that I fear them is irrational. Like, I always just
Okay.
fear that the other side of the bridge is just going to be gone. Like, I'm just going to get
Ooh.
halfway and then I
Yeah.
just drive into the ocean.
I'm afraid that it's gonna be like where was it, Boston, where the boat hit the
Oh,
thing and the
yeah.
bridge just fell away. That's what I'm
No, that
afraid
was
of.
Baltimore.
Baltimore. I said Boston. I was thinking like Maryland. So that's bad. Also,
Yeah.
updates. Terrell let me know when I was at lunch with him recently that I guess I've known him almost 20 years. On the podcast, I did say on our last episode, I believe, 12 years, and that I've been told is incorrect.
Shout out to Terrell for just actively listening to anything that we say, but especially when it's on the podcast.
For sure. Yeah. Love you, T. At this point, I have been to the Bike and Brews event, and we'll get more into that. Apparently, the whole thing, we said it was a race. I said it was a race, the whole thing, and it wasn't. It was just like one leg of it that was a race. And we'll get into that. We'll get there.
Yeah, I can't wait to unpack that. We have a new logo. We're not graphic designers, but we have a new logo.
We have some authority on this, but not all of it.
Yeah, I know enough when to say a logo sucks. So I think it makes me okay to make a logo. I don't know. You'll have to ask Tori. She is the one that had to sit through the process with me. And I pretty much told her no to everything that she suggested.
No, she did.
and not nicely. I'd be like,
but I do like crazy and wild things. So I think I was glad that you were shutting down some of my ideas. We might like edit it a little bit more.
yeah.
But I think we're going to keep the backbones.
If
It's
there
got
are
good
any
bones.
actual graphic designers out there that want to make us a new logo, please have at it. This is our third iteration. So it's better than the last.
The last, yeah. Yes.
I will say, I think the colors are more on brand for us.
Yes, yeah. And the last one, oh my God, I was at the point where like I just never wanted to see it. Like every time I saw it, it made me gag a little.
Yeah. I picked out something new to hate about it every time I looked at it.
Yes. And
yeah.
There's a lot. Yeah. There's a lot of little details to it.
Yeah. If you look closely, it's pretty fucking wild. It looks like the telephone is just smoking a joint. And it's like, we didn't ask for that.
No. Mm-mm. Luckily, Sam did edit that out for us. But apparently we still had the old one before she edited it out on some of our social media. So.
Yeah, so it's nice to see a uniform logo. Although I think I still like our very first logo the best.
I don't hate that one, I will say. It was on brand.
Yeah. So what's going on this week? Or I should say, what's been going on the last couple of weeks?
So the Sabrina and Barry of it all. Do you have information on this? Because I've forgotten everything. I watched like 3 TikToks on it like 2.5 weeks ago.
So essentially, from what I have gathered, the data that I have would appear that Barry cheated on Sabrina, supposedly
Right.
with an influencer.
Yes.
Uh,
Yep.
I don't know if it was ever confirmed who that influencer is
I
or
feel
if
like
that
I
was even
did see
true.
her name, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, so zero authority on this as per usual. In our normal reporting, it would show that we don't have all the evidence. We
Yeah,
have
mark that down.
a bit of it, just a little bit. Yeah, so apparently there was infidelity, and then he put out a statement. I don't know if you saw the statement he put out. It was very like,
Mm-mm.
women's rights. Like,
It-
just
mm.
like be kind and all this stuff. And it's just like, I don't know, fell a little flat to me.
Men in STEM.
Yeah. Like you messed up and people are dragging you for it.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows if that's actually true, you know?
Right.
Where does this stuff even come from? How do people know that that's
Well,
what
I
happened?
thought the influencer had posted like something on her story that like confirmed it. But again, like she could have just been trying to get it. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Um,
That's kind of anything celebrity wise we ever report
yeah,
on. It's just kind of like, is this real?
right. Could you imagine cheating on Sabrina Carpenter though?
That's the thing to me that's crazy, especially because he's not that great. He's pretty mid.
Mm-hmm. Let me pull him up.
Just saying.
Pull him up on the Googles. It's like Barry Keoghan or something,
Yeah,
right?
and he's Irish, so I hate to drag him, but we're unimpressed.
Mm-hmm. Mids is
So,
right. Mid sounds about right. Yeah.
yeah, she could do so much better.
And she's like a 15 out of 10.
At least. At
Yeah.
least. So,
So cute. Okay. Well, that is our uninformed information on the
they
Sabrina and
broke
Barry
up.
of it all.
I hope she dates someone way cooler.
Yeah. And we're looking
Just
forward to that.
just to piss him off.
And then writes a song about it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. She'll definitely write a song about it.
Yeah, she will. She'll probably write a song about how great the new sex is.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe we can go back and rewrite the words to Bedcamp.
Just kind of insert the name of the new guy in there.
Or just attack anything good.
Oh, no, because Bedkim is about him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, ew. Yeah,
Yeah.
good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Just
See, because
pretend you don't know that.
I didn't know the lore of it so much. I wasn't really attaching it to a person.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of a bummer when you do.
And please, please, please is obviously to him,
Mm-hmm.
which is so unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. It's a great song.
It's a great song, but it's like, oh my gosh, she called it. She knew
Yeah.
that was going to happen.
Mm-hmm. She also put out No Nonsense Christmas. Did you get to watch it?
I watched most of it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cute. It was pretty short, which I liked. It was just like a fun little, felt like a Saturday Night Live type of thing.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it.
Next on our list, we have the No More Eras bullet point. And that it still feels heavy.
I kind of just don't believe it. Like, I just keep expecting more shows to just be announced any day now.
I was about to say I feel like I'm in denial, but you pretty much just described that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the last show was really good. The surprise songs for it, she started with A Place in This World. Which was from her first album, so that's super cute. And then ended with Manuscript, the last song of her last album, Taylor. Wow. And then she put Long Livin' because she originally had it in the set list until the TTPD switch up, and she had taken it out. So
I do love Long Live.
It's just like so cute. It should be in every show she ever does because it's a song for the fans.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels so appropriate if you had to sum up the entire experience in one of the songs. It would be that, I think.
I have to agree, yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't have a big attachment to it prior to this. So I think it's something that she created that with her fans. And maybe some of the older Swifties who like really remembered when that album came out, like probably feel differently, but
I don't know.
yeah.
Because I'm one of the older Swifties and I did like it when it came out, but like there's something about the fact that it almost feels like in that song she thought that she might not hold on to fame much longer.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in Speak Now.
Yeah.
And now seeing like where she is and her singing in that like in the Eras tour is just so cool because she has come so much further even since then. And it felt like she thought maybe that was kind of could be the end of the road for her
Yeah. That's
as far
so
as being like
crazy
that
to think
popular.
about.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, the outfits also did not change at all in the last I think 4 shows. Definitely the last 3, which some of the Swifties were taking pretty hard, maybe me included.
Yeah.
And not in a way of like, oh, she has to, change her outfits, but it was just fun like guessing them on Mastermind. And of course, every night I would like guess new ones. I'm like, well, she'll change it up tonight.
Yeah.
And she didn't. But that's fine. It was still, they're great shows. And yeah, they were filming those 3 nights too, which is probably why she didn't change her outfits for like continuity purposes. So we're probably going to get an updated Eras Tour movie, I'm thinking.
That'd be excellente. If we could have that ASAP to
More
fight our depression, it would be
yes.
great. Thanks, Tay.
Or Reputation Stadium Tour. Let us have that back. Where is that? Where is that? Like,
why
the
take
footage
that?
is out there.
Why take that?
Put it somewhere. The new Halsey album is really good. Have you heard it?
I did not listen to it. You mentioned that it was good, and I was like, I'm going to go listen to it right now. And I did not. And now I'm upset that I can't report on it personally.
Well, you can still listen to it. It's called
What's
The Great
the vibe?
Impersonator. It's mostly poppy.
Oh, the first track is called Only Living Girl in LA, and my favorite Simon and Garfunkel song is Only Living Boy in New York.
Oh, so it's called The Great Impersonator. So I wonder if she kind of took that from them.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Super good album. It's just like her vocals are so good and her lyrics have always like really pulled me in.
The word vagabond, I think. Vagabond is in the first sentence of the description. So I think that tells you anybody that refers to themselves as that.
Listen to their music.
Artsy.
Yep. I have on here Starbucks kerfuffle. And I believe I shared with you at what point what the Starbucks kerfuffle was. And I can't remember.
I have no idea what this means.
Well, we'll skip past it.
I was so excited to learn about what the Starbucks kerfuffle is. This is just like Tiny Clockers, Tori.
Did we go to Starbucks together? We didn't.
Yeah,
I know it is like Tiny Clockers.
Did you?
I know something happened. I just can't remember what it was. It was important enough to write on here, but
I love that you are so not concerned, and I'm just like, what do you mean you don't remember? Your mom and Starbucks. The misunderstanding.
Thank you. That's what it was.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Okay, so I'm trying to remember now. Okay.
This is the week of misunderstandings.
It truly is. And we'll get more into that. But it truly is. So I wake up at 8:30 in the morning and I see a text from my mom that she sent at 8:17 and it says, "Do you want Starbucks?" And then at 8:19 she said, "You have 2 minutes to decide." So I only had until 8:21. I'm waking up at 8:30 and I'm seeing this text and I say yes. And then I didn't wait for her response because I'm like, what if she's there already? Like, I need to call her and like catch her before she leaves. So I call her and I'm like, hey, like, which Starbucks are you at? Because I wanted to see if they had the sugar plum Danish, something like that. Sure. I wanted to see if they had that. And on the app, it'll tell you if you know like which store they're at. So I'm like, which store are you at? And she's like, no, I'm in bed. I was going to order it. And I said, oh, okay. Well, and she said, what do you want? And I said, the chestnut praline latte. And she was like, oh, I don't know what that is. Can you just order it? I said, sure. What would you like? And she told me what she wanted. I put our order in, and that was that. I figured, obviously, because she was asking me if I wanted the Starbucks, that she was going to go pick the order up. That was just like, I didn't even confirm with her. I just felt like that was a given. So I get up, I'm hanging out with the baby for a little bit. I change his diaper. I go to the bath, number 2. So it takes a little bit, you know. And I think, oh, when I get out, she would have gone and gotten the coffee and it'll be here. How nice. So I get out of the bathroom and I see her sitting on the couch. She's like putting her shoes on and stuff. And she's like, the coffee's still not here? And I was like, excuse me? You wanted me to go get the coffee? You were the one who asked me if I wanted coffee. Were you not going to go get the coffee? And she's just looking at me confused. And she's like, why would I go get the coffee? And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? You asked me if I wanted coffee. Why would I be the one to go get the coffee? And she was confused. This is a big misunderstanding. When she orders Starbucks, she gets it delivered, which means she must be using like DoorDash or something. I don't know. Maybe you can do it in the app. I don't know. I've never done it. I always go get it because it's 2 minutes away. So she ended up going and getting the coffee, but we didn't get it until 40 minutes after the order was put in.
It was delicious by then.
Very cold. Yeah. Very cold. Thank you for looking into that.
I was going to say, I'm not letting this go. I will not have another Tiny Clockers.
We went to another concert. So Amber's, you've now had 2 adult concerts. Very different vibes.
Do you remember what I said to you about the dancing?
All knees and elbows, or knees, elbows, and shoulders. Was that it?
Knees and shoulders.
Knees and shoulders.
A lot of shimmying.
Shoulders, knees and shoulders.
And like just bouncing, and it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did we say what the concert was?
No, it was Perpetual Groove, who's my favorite band. And it was fun. It wasn't my favorite of their shows, I will say. They played a lot of their newer stuff, and I do like their older stuff better. But it was still a great show. And I really like their encore song as well. Yeah. And I let loose that night. That was fun.
Tori, tell us the funniest part of the night. What's the best part about this?
My mom was coming to pick me up.
And that was like the punchline of the joke all night. It just kept leading back to, well, my mom's picked me up, so
I can get a drink because my mom's picking me up. I'd make it a double.
Yeah, Tori was having a great time. Yeah.
And that is something that I hadn't said since I was, 18, 19. So it felt nice to, I figured it's been a few years. I'll just kind of throw it out there a lot.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I got to meet the guy that Tori's been seeing. Allie McBeal. And that was adorable and very pleasant. And we had a great girls' night, the 3 of us. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so much
very
fun.
Cute.
We went to like a little brewery before going to the concert, and that was a good time. So this week, how do we feel about ... the necessity of oil changes in your car?
Hate him. Tori loves to fucking talk about a car.
Do I?
The merge lanes?
The merge lanes is a fair... Email us if you have strong feelings about a merge lane. Email us. I know you're out there. I know it's every single person who's hearing this. Literally, Amber is the only one in the world who does not have strong feelings about the way people merge.
Well, they are all fuckery. It's all fuckery.
It's so hard for me to imagine like being so... You're like, well, it's just a merge lane.
That's how you just were.
There's
about
a right way to do
Starbucks. You were like, I'm letting it go. Yes. This is not the hill I came to die on. Mm-mm. And I'm like, the fuck it's not. The necessity. Let's go with how to pronounce necessity. How do we feel about pronouncing that? I never do it on time. I never get my oil changed when my car starts screaming at me.
Is it a
Always.
scam?
I don't think it is, actually.
You don't? Okay. I was
No.
hoping you would tell me it is because I do need to get one.
I always need to get one.
I go to those
Get
places
in
where
there.
you just pull up and they like do under the car now. You never even get out of the car.
You are in the car while they change it? I don't.
No, yeah, there's like a little dock. They climb under the car, they boop, 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 and you're in there. It's quick. You don't wait as long.
I don't want to be in the car while they're fiddling with it. It seems like a bad idea.
It's not turned on.
It
It's
sounds
not
like
going
some
anywhere.
lemony snicket.
The car's not running away or anything.
I don't know. I kind of feel the same way about generators. Just, nope.
Those are scary, yeah.
Don't want to.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that.
Well, shoot, I guess I need to actually get my oil changed. I only put this on here so that you would tell me I don't have to get my oil changed.
I wish that I could
Alas.
tell you.
So, Tinder Adventures, we might have to change the name of this. I haven't been on Tinder. I haven't been on Bumble in a month.
Dating adventures?
Dating adventures, yeah. Things are going great with Allie. We've had a few more dates since our last podcast episode. We went to a little, like, cute little Christmassy area near his apartment. We just kind of walked there and, like, got ice cream because it's Florida, so we can get ice cream at Christmas outside, and sat by the Christmas lights, and that was really cute. And then the next day, I brought him into my world a little bit and brought him out disc golfing. And that was fun. He met some of my friends. And then we brought him to the Perpetual Groove concert as well for Ladies' Night. So all those things was kind of cool because he was, you know, kind of getting incorporated into, like, meeting some of my friends and the things that I do a lot. And then the night after the concert, I went and met a lot of his friends at this event called Bikes and Brews, which we have talked about a little bit already on here. And it's actually, I thought it was like a whole, like, the whole city did this event thing, but it's really just like him and like 20 of his friends. And
it's so funny.
It is, yeah. And it was a lot of fun.
Cute.
Everyone was so nice. And we ended up staying with his brother and sister-in-law too. And they were really cool and just like super hospitable, super nice people. Now, we do know anytime there's an opportunity for me to take a tumble, I can't pass that up.
Yeah.
And I did take a little tumble on the bike. And I do have, we are 7 days out from the incident, and I right now have a frozen pork loin sitting on my knee because it is still swollen and it's still a little banged up. I hit a little sand patch and the wheel kind of just turned. Also, I asked Allie if I could bring my brother's e-bike for the event. And I asked him, am I going to be like a loser with the e-bike? Like, is anyone else going to have an e-bike? And he was like, I don't know. Most people just like have pedal bikes. And he was like, but you can borrow, my parents have too. And, you can borrow my mom's. I was like, oh, great. I'll just do that. I've biked before. I can remember how to bike. They say you can't not remember, right?
That's what they say.
That is what they say. Well, the bike was a little tall for me. So like at first, you know how like when you stop the bike, you can hop forward?
Yeah.
I forgot that you could do that. So every time I would stop the bike, and this was before the drinking started even. This is just sober-tory. Every time I would stop the bike, I couldn't reach the ground because I was too short for the bike. So I'd have to swing my whole leg over and like quickly dismount. And we're driving through like real streets and stuff. So like you have to stop at crosswalks and stuff. So every time I'm like, and then I have to jump back on like I'm jumping on a horse almost because this thing is too tall for me. But then I remembered you can just kind of hop forward in front of the seat. So like a couple stops in, that was a revelation for me. I was like, oh, this is so helpful. So that was my first problem with this bike, right? We're about at this point halfway through the night when I'm like, man, I am like working, like I know I'm a pretty active person and like I am working real hard. And I look around at other people and I'm like, why am I like dying? Like it was hard for me to keep up with the pack. And I'm like, I've never had this experience with a bicycle before. And I'm looking around at other people, and their feet are not moving. They're barely pedaling. It's like for every 6 full rotations of pedals that I'm making, they're doing one. And I'm like,
Wow.
what is going on here? And I'm like, I'm working way harder than everyone else around me. And I'm like looking, and people are flying by me too. I'm like,
They're
why is this
professional bikers
so
apparently in this
difficult for
group.
me? Well, I realized like even when I was off the bike and I'm just like pushing it, there was like resistance on it. And then I remembered they said one of the brakes wasn't working. So what was happening was the back brake was just engaged constantly. So I was I had one brake. There's 2 brakes, and one brake was just constantly on
You're just fighting against the brake the whole time.
the whole time. Yep. And I could be wrong. Allie, correct me. Maybe we'll add it to the updates if I am. But I think it was about 5 miles, like all the biking together. So luckily, we're at this one bar, and I did karaoke too, Amber. Not by
Whoa,
myself.
whoa, whoa. Whoa. This event is a little too eventy.
And I didn't do it by myself. You know I would never.
No.
Unless I'm just with you and Alicia, then I will do it too much.
Yeah.
But
Fair.
yeah, I guess it's a thing where all the girls go up and do it. And like Allie's sister-in-law was like trying to get me to go up there. And you're just like one in like 6 people. And I, made sure to stay very far from the microphone. I really didn't want to.
So only the women did it?
Yeah, well, boys were going up by themselves and doing it, but like
Okay.
it's like a thing that all the girls do every year
Together. That's cute.
Yeah.
That they wanted you to do it with them.
Yeah, it is.
It's so inclusive.
No, it really is. It's super cute that they wanted me to be up there. I just personally didn't want to be up there at all. But I feel like I feel like I deserve a sticker for that one. I did go up
For
and
sure.
I did it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In between riding a bike. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. So at this bar, we end up, I ordered Allie and I another drink right before everyone was like, oh, let's ride off. So Allie and I finished our drinks and everyone else had left. Thanks, science. Because everyone else was already inside the next bar at the time that I took my tumble.
Okay.
Thanks, science.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I went up on this curb and I just hit this sand patch and my tire just like kind of like turned the wrong way. And all of a sudden the cement was coming towards me so quickly. So we go inside and I'm like, like it does hurt. It hurts, but we're going to get through it. And
Yeah.
we had quite a bit of drinks at this point too. So that definitely helped with the pain, I'm sure. And we're in the next bar that we had arrived at. We were 20 feet from this bar when I fell too. You could see all the lit up bikes where I fell at. And Allie was so sweet. He like jumped off his bike and like rushed over to help me. Anyways, so we get into the next bar. We're there for like 5 minutes and I'm like, where's my phone? And it was out on the curb where I had fallen and I had a screen protector on it. The screen protector was smashed to bits. I actually had to take it off because my Face ID stopped working because it was smashed over the camera.
Dear God. Was your screen smashed too?
No, the screen is fine, but I do need to put another protector on it before it does get smashed.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks, science.
Is anyone on the crew of this event a medical professional by chance?
I did hear someone needed stitches one year, and there were people who were nurses who were part of the crew who were like, you got to go get the stitches.
Well, the whole preface, Bike and Brews.
Right.
Somebody has to get injured every year.
I did take a little tumble when we got back too, and that was 100% just because I was drunk and I could not manage to hop off the bike.
We established that.
I was managing it without getting hurt, though, earlier in the night. It was difficult, but I was managing it. By the end of the night, I was wobbly.
You're like, I was fighting the brakes, okay?
Exactly.
That's intense. Oh my gosh.
That's been what Allie and I have been up to. And when I left the next morning, he gave me a Christmas gift. I had told him that I wasn't getting anyone gifts this year, and my plan was I'm just going to make cookies for everyone. And he like brought this bag out of his car when I was leaving, and he was like, "Well, I didn't buy you anything." And I like look in and I see like a kid's book, and I'm like, "Oh, that's so cute." So he got something for my kid. And then he was like, yeah, he had asked me when we first, like, in the first week that we were dating, like, what kind of books I read to him. And I told him that I read him kids' books, but, like, sometimes I'll read him, like, whatever I'm reading at the time. And at the time, it was Good Omens by Neil Gaiman. And I told him that Neil Gaiman was one of my favorite authors. And he ended up getting my kid a children's book by that author. And that was
so
just
cute.
It's so thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so cute.
Yeah, total green flag. The green flag of all green flags.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I thought we were out of them.
Yeah, I really wasn't prepared to hand out anymore, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I kind of want to dislike you at this point. At least a little.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Just kidding.
Anyway, so things are going very well with Allie. I'm definitely getting to the point where I feel like I miss him sometimes too, which is cute. Not that I need a man. I don't need no man.
No. We've established that this year.
But I do kind of miss this one sometimes. So, yeah, it's just cute. Things are going well.
We love that.
Mm-hmm. So for funny text this week, my first one is from Amber. She said, "Watching your kids horribly wrapped gifts is painful, lol." And I said, "Oh my God, I bet."
It is. And it's so nice that they want to help. So I don't want to discourage it. And I also don't want to be the mom that's like, oh, here, let me help you.
Right.
You know?
Let me help.
But like, please crisp those edges with some respect.
Pull the paper tight.
Yeah, put some respect on my name. Like, what are you doing? This is from me. So yeah, both my kids really wanted to help with wrapping this year, which was adorable, but
that is so cute.
Difficult
and painful
to get through. Yeah. My first funny text is from our Snapchat group chat with Tori, Shoshana, Sam, Alicia, and Destin. Did I get everyone?
You got everyone, yep.
Okay. And Sam sent one of her infamous chicken nugget videos where she uses the chicken nugget filter and she tells a funny story, and usually it's like a dream that she had. And this one happened to be about a dream that she had where Cat Williams was her therapist. And so we're all discussing the chicken nugget video, which was, of course, hilarious. And I said, Cat seems like he'd be a great therapist. And then Tori chimed in and said, you got to be in tune with your motherfucking self. You got to have 3 or 4 star players. And it was at this point that she changed the group chat name to Star Players, which was abrupt. No one was prepared for that. And Destin says, I honestly imagine him smacking someone in the head with a microphone. And then Sam responded, poor little Tink Tink.
Poor little Tink Tink. Oh my God.
Tink. It was very chaotic that day in the group chat.
It's very like, what, 2006 too? 2004? Something like, I think 2006-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere around
like
there. Mm-hmm. Love that. That remains one of my favorite comedy specials ever.
Yeah, same.
So this next one is from our group chat Band of Clowns, which has Amber, Alicia, Sam, and Shoshana. And this is actually referencing a comment that we got on our Instagram. A little bit of a hate comment. Or at least a not love comment. I don't I don't know what to call it.
It was a hater.
We had a hater comment. And Shoshana said, would I be dogpiling by posting this? I'm considering it. And she shared a screenshot of what she was considering saying. And then Sam said, LMAO. And then Amber said, I mean, I don't think so, but I originally wanted to say, shut the fuck up before I go fuck your father. Then Amber goes on to say, but then Tori let me know his father is dead, and I don't know about going full-blown necromancer on the pod page.
I'm still considering it, honestly.
And then Shoshana said, threatening to fuck their dad used to be my favorite comeback, to be honest. And then there was a bunch of, like, dead emojis by various people.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I think we can say this. The hater was Tori's ex-husband, and it honestly came out of left field because they've been doing all right.
And still have, just apparently not on Instagram.
Yeah, so it was just kind of shady, and so everybody was like, of course I'm going to take this opportunity to talk shit to him. He started it. Of course I'm going to finish it.
I had 3 separate friends reach out and say, how mean can I be?
Yeah. The fuck your father thing was my first. That was my gut reaction.
And I think that was the only one that I was like, maybe not that one.
Probably not the best. And I think I wound up saying something like, we're not taking alternative feedback at this time, but glad to see you're still a fan.
Yes. And I did. I think that's probably one of my favorite ones. Yeah. Just because you're still a fan is so funny. Because, like, he doesn't have to follow that
Right.
page.
You don't need to be here.
No.
Goodbye. This isn't for you. Never was.
Yep. So that was hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, so my next funny text is also from the Star Players group chat on Snapchat. And I don't remember what I was complaining about, but I did send a rather lengthy video complaining about something. And Alicia responded, Amber, I can run you over for insurance purposes. Minimal injuries, but big payout.
Yes. Yeah, because at the end of your snap, you were like, can someone please just run me over?
I remember that. I just don't remember what I was actually pissed off about.
Me neither.
Yeah. So
that's so funny.
Thanks, Alicia.
She's a real one.
For sure. So our last funny text is going to be a group effort, and we're going to have to give some context because, folks, it's a pretty wild ride, and it's a little sensitive as far as the topic, so we can only give so much information.
This has been the week of miscommunication.
The miscommunication trope is I hate it. I hate it. It's the worst trope there is, and yet this entire week, everything has been a miscommunication. I'm telling you. So I text Tori at 8:30 in the morning, angry, as we typically do. That's not at all unusual.
It's how we start our days.
Yeah. And I said, we need to form an alliance to hex all the men. And Tori said,
sign me up.
How did the night end up? And I said, I'm channeling my rage at blank. And I can't say the actual name, but it is a mutual friend of mine and Tori's. Our friend's spouse is who I was channeling my rage at. And it's at this moment that the miscommunication trope begins because Tori thinks I said Coley, which is my son's name.
There's not many letters separating the difference of these names.
It's 1 letter difference. Honestly, yes. easy mistake. I definitely see where she got it. And I said, did I tell you about the back scratches? And she said, excuse me. No, not from a girl. And again, she still thinks we're talking about my 14-year-old son. I even go as far as to send Tori photographic evidence of what we assume is cheating on our friend. And but all you can see is the person's back and scratches on their back. And you can't see their
Yes.
head. You can
Mm-mm.
see kind of like in the background that they're in the bathroom, but that's about it. That's all you can see. And then I said, it certainly seems that way, as in it's from a girl. And he says it's from snowboarding, but literally no one believes that. And again, this is probably my favorite part. Tori tries to correct me and she says, "Did you mean skateboarding?"
Because there's no snow here in Florida. And I'm, again, thinking Amber's talking about her 14-year-old son. And I know Amber has not been around snow, and neither has her 14-year-old son.
Right, right. I know. So I said, "Nope, snowboarding."
So at this point in my head, I'm like, wow, he is really lying to her, because he does have a girlfriend, her 14-year-old son. And I'm like, he is taking this to the next level, like saying they went on a family vacation to wherever there's snow and he got scratched there. And also, what the heck? He shouldn't have scratches on his back.
Tori's having a lot of thoughts behind the scenes that she's having a field day this day. So she's not even really able to like fully check in with me. I'm also so distracted because it's a work day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're both working, and like I'm just trying to be so, because in my mind, Amber's going through a lot. She just found out her son has scratches on his back.
He's 14,
and he's lying to his girlfriend about, oh my god, saying that he went snowboarding.
Yeah, so I won't continue to read every other text, but basically this conversation goes on all day, and I'm noticing Tori is seeming more and more confused as the day goes on. And it finally she says, "How are you feeling about it?" And I'm like, that's a fucking weird question. Because this has nothing to do with me.
And obviously I'm pissed. Like, if it from your perspective, you're like,
I'm pissed off. I'm showing anger towards who Tori thinks is my child. She's like, okay, rightfully so. You're mad at him. He's lying. He's cheating on his girlfriend and he's lying about it. And it like continues to go on. And I'm like, yeah, he always does stuff like this. And she's like, what?
Because he is such an angel.
He's a good kid. He's a really good kid.
I'm out with my coworker and I'm like, I am so disappointed in him.
Oh my god.
He did this.
Meanwhile, she's like, Amber is handling this so well.
Very well.
She's not freaking out at all. She's even LMAOing.
And I'm melting down. She sent an LMAO at one point where it did not feel appropriate if it was her son. And I was like, man, she is handling this so well.
Yeah. Anyway, finally, Tori realized that she was reading it incorrectly all day. And
can we talk about the point where I tried to specify to you as well? And I said, so let me get this story straight. And I wrote out, Coley is cheating on his girlfriend. And Amber, I guess, thought that was a typo.
I didn't even notice it. It didn't even register with me. Like, I was just like, yes, girl, that's what I'm telling you is happening. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, why are you confused? And all day I was like, why does she seem so hype about this? Like,
oh, I did tell my coworker at one point, I'm like, there's something I'm missing here. There's something amiss here. Something. And I still didn't figure it out for another like hour and a half after. This went on from like 8:30 in the morning until like 2 p.m. Afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the miscommunication of all miscommunications.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we finally got on the same page.
Yes. I have one more funny text actually relating to this on that same train. I sent Allie a voice note about our miscommunication, and I told him that I had even spelled out Coley's name. I was like, she must have thought it was a typo when I wrote that out, and he said it's almost a boy who cried wolf thing with typos. She knew how likely you are to have them, so just assumed it was when it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, oh, that can't possibly be what she means, because that would never, we'd never be having this conversation.
I knew something was off.
Yeah, that was pretty epic.
Oh my gosh.
Will be now the actual situation sucks,
Yeah.
and we're definitely putting a shrimp in his car for
He's
sure.
getting a few shrimps. Yeah.
Spread out over time, many a shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. He will forever smell like shrimp.
yeah.
So, wow. What are we what are we consuming this week?
So Birdie and I sped through Throne of Glass book 2. It was very good. The story is just really starting to get interesting, and we just kind of bolted through this book. So basically, in the last episode when we talked about this, I went over how Selena is now the king's champion, and she's basically pretending to kill the hits that he gives her. So he says,
Oh
okay, I
yeah,
want
yeah.
this person dead, and she goes to that person and basically makes them fake their death, but doesn't actually kill them. And then she goes to somewhere, a morgue, and gets a body part, brings it back, and pretends that it's that person's.
Yeah.
So she's not actually doing anything wrong, but she is starting to explore the castle. She finds a door knocker that talks and
Okay.
gives her hints about clues and shit that she has for what's going on in the castle. This thing talks to her. It's so interesting. Okay, so she and Kale start fucking.
Of course. We all knew that was
She,
coming.
oh, I was so not. I was really hoping, like, because she and Dorian were making out in the first book. I'm like, maybe she gets back with Dorian. Maybe there's like a new person. No, she starts fucking Kale, and they're like in love with each other, and it's
Ugh.
all like ooey gooey. And then
Ooey gooey.
Kale is the king's right hand, basically, and he gets this message that says that Selena's friend Nehemiah is going to, the king is going to be interrogating her, and the tip seems kind of sketchy, like kind of gives the indication that like something might happen to her, but it doesn't really give him any specific details. And he even thinks about like he should say something to Selena because it's her friend, but he decides against it because that's not his position as the king's like
Mm-hmm.
right hand or whatever. And so he doesn't tell her, and the person that Selena is assigned to kill captures Kale, knowing Selena will come after him. Meanwhile, somebody at the castle kills Nehemiah.
No.
And because that was like the secret tip that Kale had gotten. And then it gets back to Selena that Kale knew and didn't tell her. So it
Mm.
completely destroys their relationship. She says, "You're my enemy." Like, there's no chance of them rekindling anything. It just completely destroys them.
Good. Because we
Meanwhile,
didn't like them together,
we didn't
right?
like them together
Okay.
anyway, but it just like sucks that she had to go through that.
For sure. And poor Nehemiah.
Yeah, she's dead now.
Right.
And you find out that Nehemiah and Archer, who is the person who Selena is assigned to kill and who captures Kale, they're basically a part of like this bigger network of people that are trying to basically rise against the king. And so Nehemiah kind of knew that she was going to die and was prepared for it. She was prepared to
Oh.
sacrifice herself for like the bigger picture. And Archer tries to bring in Selena so that they basically have more people on their side to fight the king. And meanwhile, this is so fucking crazy. Like, there's so many twists and turns. So this like portal opens up while they're in the basement of the castle, and Selena finds this portal basically, and she starts to put it together that basically the king is doing magic, and that
Ooh.
he's outlawed all magic except for
Right.
the magic that runs in his family. Because as all of this is going on, you start to realize that Dorian has magic powers and doesn't tell anyone. And you're like,
Okay.
how the fuck does Dorian have magic if magic is outlawed? Well, how did this
Mm-hmm.
guy even conquer all these people to begin with? Well, he has these objects basically that Selena finds out can basically make you unfuckwithable. So you can pretty much do whatever if you have these evil objects, and the king has them. So that's how he was able to conquer all the lands and
Mm.
wipe out magic except for magic of his own kind. And so this portal opens up, and Selena is trying to help fight off these demons essentially. And she goes into the portal after Kale, because Kale goes into the portal after Selena's dog,
Oh.
which is, yeah, insane. And when they go into the portal, they're technically in a different world, and Selena starts to shift into a fae. And so the only person seeing this is Kale. Dorian is outside the portal, trying to do something else. And so only Kale sees that Selena is Fae. And as soon as she comes out of the portal and they fight their way back to just the regular world, she shifts back into looking normal. So Dorian
Hmm.
has no idea. And the very end of the book, you find out that Selena is actually this very powerful Fae who,
Oh.
she basically faked her own death when her family was killed, when magic was outlawed. She faked her own
Mm.
death and went into hiding. But that's all we know. There's more to the story, but she doesn't
Right.
explain it to Kale. And as far as I know, Dorian doesn't know either.
Okay. So, and that's where you're at. There's no more.
So, okay, we started the third book, but we both knew that book three was a time hop. So it goes back to
Ah.
before book one's. And we know that in this story before book one, Selena was in love with this guy named Sam, and we know he was murdered. So we're going back and reading
Dang it.
about Selena. It's enemies to lovers. Her and Sam start off as enemies. You know that they're going to end up lovers, but you also know that he's going to end up being killed. So it goes back to the beginning. So hopefully it will shed more light on her as a fae. But it also seems like she's hiding something
Yeah.
or has forgotten something, maybe. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. It's
Okay.
unclear. But yeah, so her real name is Aylin, which Sarah and I have heard that name before just because it's like the main
Like on
character.
TikTok or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hurry up and get through the time hop and let us know.
I know. I want to get it over with. Yeah.
I've continuously still been watching Real Housewives of New York. We are on season 10 now. There's 15 total, I think, or
Nice.
13. So we're getting there. Not a whole lot of notes, like just, women bickering most of the time. But Luann got arrested in like the most recent episode. Do you remember this from watching it?
I remember her getting arrested. That
Whoa.
sounds familiar, but I don't remember what she got arrested for.
Yeah, it seemed like she was just drunk and disorderly. They had her in handcuffs in the back of the car, and she slipped out of the handcuffs and then like got up out of the car and started walking away. And
I don't remember that.
had to put her back in.
That's
They were
hilarious.
they're like telling her, "I will hog tie you if you don't settle down."
Oh
So
my god.
yeah, and it was kind of sad. Obviously, she's getting arrested for
Right.
being too drunk, but it was because she married that guy Tom, and they were only married for like 7 months before they split up, which 100% no judgments from me, not from my corner.
Yeah.
But she went back to where he lived at, and that was where she got arrested. And she was going to see family. It had nothing to do with him, but apparently it's like a real small town, so like who knows, what was
Sure.
going on in her head and stuff. But I think she just got too drunk.
Damn.
And then, yeah, and she, last I saw, she was in rehab. I only watched like halfway into the next episode. So, but yeah, that's probably the most exciting thing that's happened
Wow.
on the show. Yeah, in a sad way.
Yeah.
Um,
No, for sure. She's entertaining though. The fact that she
for
slipped
sure.
out of the handcuffs is the funniest thing I've ever heard.
No.
Like,
It's an
get back
amazing
in there.
story. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my goodness.
We're also loving consuming Southern Charm again. However,
Yes.
very pissed off that they did not give us a new episode this week. I was really looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
The episodes keep getting to the point where they're like really good and then the episode's over. Like the
Oh,
drama
they've
really,
always been like that.
yeah, and it's like really noticeable this season. It's like, okay, it just started heating up.
It's always felt like that to me. That's why I love when I can just like binge the whole season
Yeah, because you just
because
get
then you
all
don't
of
have
it
to
back to
wait.
back. I
Yeah.
know. I wish that they had done that. So basically, we start the season with JT and Austin are not on good terms after the reunion.
The
JT was like,
exorcism.
the
The
exorcism.
fuckboy exorcism.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They all are at some kind of, is it a derby
Oh, I
horse
forget what that party
race
was.
thing or something like
Polo,
that?
maybe? I forget what
Something
that party was.
Something like that. Yeah, some bougie party where they're all dressed up. And JT on the way to the event bought everyone canes
Which is so
because
strange.
yeah, he had like a freak four-wheeling accident or something and he's using a cane. And he gave one to Miss Patricia, which is the most tone deaf thing ever.
She's an elderly woman. I don't even want
Right.
to say elderly because that's not the right word to describe her, but
She's
she is
older. She's the
a woman
oldest
of
in the
age.
group, because she's Whitney's mom.
A woman of age, and he hands her a cane, and it's just like, what are you thinking? I mean, first of all, he's handing out these canes as like a peace offering to people to try to like
Hmm.
make peace with them, but like it's such a weird
Really
stretch of
weird.
an attempt. Like just because you need a cane because you got into a physical accident, like it's a weird thing to just like give people as a peace offering.
Really
Like
weird. Yeah, super weird.
weird flex.
Really weird flex. And he kind of starts to lose it a little bit. So he starts in episode 2 telling Shep and Craig all this stuff about Madison and essentially insinuating that Madison's husband thinks JT and Madison had an affair in the last season when they were all on their trip at the end of the season. And it's like nobody on God's green earth
No.
believes that Madison slept with JT. On no
And
planet did that happen.
well, I think JT was he was trying to say too that like Madison may have slept with Austin because they had the same
They had polka
patterned
dots.
clothes. They both had polka dots. That was like a black background with like white polka dots. And
Yeah.
he had the pants that matched her dress. But like what, dude?
Yeah.
Like
It was a stretch. It was a stretch. And so then he's also complaining about Miss Patricia and the cane. And then at the end of the episode, Craig is retelling the group without
oh
JT
my god,
present,
yeah.
is retelling the group in front of Miss Patricia about their conversation with JT. And then Craig says that JT called Miss Patricia a bitch. And nowhere in the audio did that happen.
Do you think he's doing that just for the show, just to like stir shit up?
Yes.
Because like you can't just like misremember that. Like it literally just didn't happen.
No, I think he was in the heat of the moment and he's talking shit with everybody. And it just like, yeah, he's just rolling with it because there's cameras present. And he's just like, yeah, I called you a bitch. Like,
What the
what?
hell, Craig?
Come on. And so then JT decides he's going to write a letter to Miss Patricia, which I do think is a cute gesture to
It's much better than a
apologize.
cane.
Much better than a cane. And I just love when Miss Patricia gets the apology note and it pans to her confessional interview and she says, I don't think there's anything he could say that would interest me at this point. It's like, yes. Yes. Love that. She's such a boss.
She really is. It's hard not to love her.
Yeah, she's so funny. Madison saying Gaston's name.
Oh my god. Gaston.
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 Yeah, it's the funniest. I love her. Best character development. Very sad to see that her husband is not in the best health. She deserves happiness. I feel like she's finally happy and in her feminine era. She finally can be the woman in the relationship, and I wish them both well.
Me too, yeah. It is interesting while we're talking about Gaston. I liked him in the first episode, but we're just getting to know him. We know nothing about this guy. It's interesting that is her name Molly, the new girl?
Mm-hmm.
Also, fuck Whitney.
Hate Whitney for saying Molly doesn't need the cupcake.
I've always hated him, but like this just reiterates fuck Whitney. Anyways, Molly, is it Molly who had dated Gaston before? No, it's the other girl.
Molly's friend.
Okay, yeah. And I don't remember her name, but she had dated Gaston, who Taylor is now dating.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he was cheating on her the whole time. So it's not looking great I don't like that. I don't like to hear that because I was just really hoping that Taylor had kind of fell into something better after dealing with that with Shep for so long.
Yeah,
and
same.
Just Shep shenanigans too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, next week's episode hopefully will be good. Can't wait to see what happens next.
Sorry, I was reading my notes, but we did cover that. Okay, so for our list this week, we actually decided to do our favorite podcast moments. It's funny because we said we'd do top 3, and I see you did 4, and I also did 4. So we decided to do our top favorite moments from the podcast from the last year. So
yeah, sweet. I'll start.
Okay.
So I really like that we started trying to do more original segments. We really made a push for that. And so one of the segments is a curated list of some kind, which is the segment that we're in now. And my favorite list was simply alarmingly startling moments. Simply for the title alone.
That's fair. You're welcome.
And it gave us Tiny Clockers, which is a mystery that I just don't think we'll ever solve.
No. Mm-mm. And that's on you. So this was from episode 15 with Sam and Alicia. Let's listen back.
That was great.
Tiny Clockers.
Tiny Clockers?
Tiny Clockers?
I don't know what that means.
I didn't write that. Did I write that? No, I think you wrote that.
I didn't really. I don't know what tiny clockers are.
In the distance.
No, I think I copied this off the other note. And you wrote that. Because I always thought it was so funny. I was like, did she mean clickers?
I thought you just meant
add a single
really
thing to
tiny
that
clocks.
that you haven't.
I thought just noises in the background ticking.
I thought you meant crickets.
Now, I will say, when it's quiet, what I hear is just
oh my god!
Oh. Okay, I'm fine.
Just moved on. I don't know about this.
I don't know about that. So it's funny. I was going to add to it whenever you brought it up. I was going to say... I'm going to pee my pants.
Yeah, I already have. Oh. I haven't added ever a single note to the list.
Okay.
A shared experience.
Who is this? Show yourself.
So
Lord knows where this came from. Me too.
To our note.
Okay, for my next moment, I have down, does his mom have to come?
That was a good one.
Yeah, does his mom have to come is referring to the episode, I think it's 26 that Terrell was on with us, and I was talking about the 29-year-old that I had kind of been startled with. I didn't realize Tinder had matched me with someone out of my age gap that I had specified. I was talking about going on a date with him potentially. Amber came in with the, does his mom have to come? Let's give this one a listen. Okay, so I was chatting with this guy, right? We're kind of hitting it off on Tinder. And he seemed like kind of playful in like almost a youthful way, right? So I'm like, how old was this guy? No, it's okay. It's okay. So I have my filter set on Tinder from 30 to 40.
They
and
know
I'm
those.
34. Yeah. So I assume that Tinder's not showing me anyone under 30.
Right.
So I'm like, how old is he? And I go check, he's 29.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ooh, a 2 at the beginning. It's 2 for too young. Right?
Stop.
So I've been kind of like feeling like this one out because we started off like hitting it off, right? And then I realized
he's a baby.
29.
He's baby. And and then I'm like looking back on like having flirted with him, and I'm like, am I flirting with a baby? I don't.
Are you a wee baby?
I mean, maybe.
So, that was days ago. We've still been kind of chatting. Today he asked me if I want to go on a date at some point, and I said, I don't know.
Does your mom have to go?
She did.
Damn, that was way worse than the 2 for too young.
You know, sometimes we're just
That
funny.
was great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
Top favorite thing that we've said this entire year, the narcoleptic pegasus with vertigo.
That's a good one.
It's the weirdest, most niche thing. We originally started talking about the pegasus because we were talking about Halloween costumes, and Tori said she and Terrell were going to be a pegasus for some reason. I'm not sure why we roped Terrell into that, but we did. Sure either. And then we were talking later, and Tori said she'd put some thought into it, and she realized she couldn't do the pegasus costume because it would give her vertigo. And I happened to mention, well, Terrell is narcoleptic. He falls asleep everywhere. So that's not good either. And the combination of the narcolepsy and the vertigo for the pegasus is just...
That was from episode 23. Let's listen back. Okay. We did talk about the kind of the pegasus costume in the last episode, and we were like joking about being the front or the back of it. I just kind of wanted to say that I don't think I was thinking about it a little bit more, and I don't think I could be the back of it because I get really dizzy easily, and I feel like I would get vertigo in there, like, because what can you see? Right? And then you just
the other person's ass.
You just see the back of the pegasus just kind of like leaning over every once in a while.
It's like, why is its back legs constantly like? It's like one of those things outside of businesses that kind of like that's what the pegasus would be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if Terrell's the other part of the pegasus, he's gonna fall asleep. So it's a narcoleptic pegasus at this point. A narcoleptic pegasus.
Oh my gosh! So
with vertigo. That's not a good combination. It's not.
It's not looking good for us. One of my moments is when Shoshana was on, I think it was episode 10, and she was telling the story of me falling down the sea slug. Yes. And just like the way that she narrates that story is just the way it starts out. Like, Tori was so dry, so I gave her my cell phone, my wallet, like all the important things, my cigarettes. And then she like describes me like trying to claw my way up as I'm like slowly falling into the ocean just so well. Oh my gosh.
That's probably still one of my top 3 favorite episodes with the shenanigans.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a good one.
This was the episode that Shoshana came on with us. The first one Shoshana was on, episode 10. Let's give it a listen.
And yeah, I was like, oh, you're not swimming, Tori. So here are my cigarettes, my cell phone, my wallet, my lighter. So many things.
All the things I don't want to get wet, pretty much.
You are the perfect person to leave this with because you are so dry.
I feel like that's not how the story ends.
It ended so quickly. I mean, so we're all hanging out on the sea slug, and Tori was just, it is pretty when you get to the edge, right? So you're kind of just like on the edge of the world. I mean, just
living life on the edge.
Right. Taking it all in. And from about 10 feet away, I see Tori walk one step too far off the slug. And the scramble, I mean, it was like such a slow fall. I've never seen anything slower happen. I mean, it was literally just grasping, clawing, like little arms. I don't think the audience is aware of how tiny you are. Yes, just like his tiniest little arms, just grasping and clawing for life.
That's so funny that you said that was one of your top moments, because I just put having our friends on the pod, and then I listed Show, Sam, Alicia, and Terrell. Mm-hmm. Those episodes were really, really fun to do.
They are. Yeah, we got to do another guest episode.
Mm-hmm. Birdie,
soon.
Where you at?
Yeah, Birdie. My next one, this is also from when we had friends on the pod. I'm realizing all of these are almost, I have one more that's not from when friends were on, but this one we had Show and Alicia. Nope, we had Sam and I think Alicia on this week, and it was when my flip-flop lost the soul.
That was a funny one. Yeah. It's like hand-me-down flip-flops.
And I just remember Sam's reaction, like on the video, like her head goes down because she's just like laughing so much. She's like, oh my God, like the soul. This was also from episode 15 when we had Sam and Alicia on. Let's go ahead and listen. What's going on this week for me is I got some hand-me-down flip-flops. I know
wasn't expecting that sentence.
Yeah, kind of out of left field. Yeah, some hand-me-down flip-flops. They seemed fine. They seemed in normal, not that worn condition. I put them on. I get in the car. I get out of my first stop, Starbucks. And I'm walking in. I kind of like I didn't actually stub my toe on the curb, but like I kind of like caught the curb on the bottom of the flip-flop. I'm like, that felt like odd. But just keep walking, go in, come back out, hands full of coffee and stuff, because I was getting food and coffee for Brian and I. And as I'm walking out, I see the sole of a flip-flop laying there.
Wait.
Yeah, I know you meant like the soul, SOLE, but part of me is also essence.
No, I think it did like inside die in that moment as well, right? So we had to go on. So we go to the pediatrician, and I still have like the part that your foot touches, but there's like a sole that was under it.
Right.
So I'm at this point I can still walk around. We go to the pediatrician. We decide to pop by and get some ramen on the way home real quick at a little like pickup spot. We go there. I'm sitting down waiting for them to bring it to me. It's to-go order. They bring it to me. I stand up and walk away from the table, and the thong on the other flip-flop is just disconnected. It was just, nothing happened.
Who gave these flip-flops have lived?
I stood up, and it just wasn't on my foot anymore. So I tried to, like, kind of shimmy walk to the car. And I couldn't. So I had to throw the one flip-flop away and just, like, walk with one bare foot out of this, like, shopping center and
I just want to know what the people who worked there were thinking.
That's so funny.
Oh, yeah. That one gave me a good laugh.
That's a good one. Okay, one of my top favorite moments was when we did our bonus episode for TTPD, specifically when we were recording during Florida. We all kind of freaked out during that song. It was an out-of-body experience, for sure.
Mm-hmm. I almost wrote that down, too, as one of my moments, but I wasn't sure if it counted.
Oh, it totally counts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
One of my top moments from the year, too, was the microphone kerfuffle. There was an episode where Amber was, like, telling a story, and, like, I was, like, already, like, kind of distracted, and then it was one of those nights where, like, my head was just all over the place, and I'm, like, fiddling with the mic, trying to, like, get it positioned right, and the whole thing just falls down, and you hear, like, some kind of calamity. And then Amber's just like, what are you doing over there? This one you can actually hear my mic fall, and then you hear Amber responding. Let's give it a listen.
Swing set in the backyard that our kids don't really use anymore, so we took the swings down, and he hung my what are you doing over there? You're just tinkering.
Sorry.
I can't right now.
I'm so sorry. I was just thinking, this is so annoying. It's probably, like, really distracting to Amber, so I was trying to, like, get it done quickly. And it's finally happened. I knew one day the mics were going to fall while we were recording.
You know, I just really try not to mess, like, just don't touch it. Don't even look at
it.
Oh, God. It's been a blast, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
We are pretty good at this now for the most part. We're getting there.
Amber, I think this is episode 40 that we're on now.
Wow, that is insane. 40 episodes this year.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. And almost a whole year of podcasting at this point.
We're close, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
pretty
cheers
cool
to us, babe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a cool outlet for us to have, I feel like. And we've gotten closer through the process. We're already super close, but yeah, it's been really cool. Yeah. So for Who's the Better Friend this week, we are guessing each other's top catchphrases or go-to sayings, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, I'll guess first. Okay, your top saying is, I will say.
It's on the list, so you do get a point for that.
Okay. I actually feel like I should have put this next one as your number one, and I will say should have been number two, but it's too late for that now. So the top two saying that you use a lot is, that's fair.
I didn't put that on there, but that is a good one. And I give you a half a point for that because it's close. I don't know. I don't think that's it.
Okay. No point.
No point.
Okay. Okay, so the third saying that I guessed is, thanks, science.
Dang, I had that on there and I took it off. I'll give it 2 points for that because that is where I had it too. I had it in the third spot.
Wow. Okay. Okay, so what did you list as your sayings?
So I had that tracks for number one, which is the one that I was like maybe gonna give you for that's fair, but like they're different.
You do say that tracks more.
Yeah, and they're different sayings. I will say is number two.
Yeah.
And then for number three, I did have thanks science. And I was like, I kind of like stole that from Amber. So like, I'm going to take that off. And I instead put fuck that ... And you can put anything after that. You could say, fuck those shorts. Fuck, fuck that cat.
I like that.
I mean, I say fuck that thing a lot.
Okay.
Fuck that ...
Cool.
So. Okay, so for Amber, my first guess for Amber's catchphrase is number one, eat a bag of dicks.
Hands down.
I feel confident about that one.
Yeah.
Number two, I had thanks science.
No, I didn't put it on the list. I did feel like it was more of a mutual thing that we came up with together. Like
Okay.
we did kind of just say like we don't want to say thank God. Like
Right.
I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Number 3, attaching yeah at the end of any sentence. So she'll say, we were supposed to meet at 8, yeah?
I do. I didn't put that
Like
on the
she's
list. I never
she's
realized that.
Australian. I didn't think you would put this one on there.
That's
I
true.
felt like I had to.
I do.
Mhm.
I like to clarify.
Yeah?
Yeah?
It always makes me, it gives like an Aussie vibe a little bit.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the order, I didn't put that on there. So this was the order of mine. Eat a bag of dicks. Just kidding. Which I say just kidding anytime I'm wrong about something. Like if I say something to someone and they're like, no, I'm like, oh, just kidding. Or if I'm in the grocery store and I'm like, I do one of those like,
Oh, I hate that.
with somebody where you're like both like, I don't know which way to go. Then I'll just be like, oh, just kidding. Like I just kind of anytime I think I could possibly be in the wrong, I just let people know like I'm not being serious. I'm not really sure when that started, but and then last I put Surrey in all caps because I do be yelling at Surrey for any God-given reason.
That's a good one, yeah. That was a fun one.
That did end up being pretty fun. Yeah.
Oof. Okay, so what's next? It's going to be our first one of the new year.
So catch us up next time on Who's a Better Friend. We're going to guess each other's top 3 bugaboos.
Yes, I'm excited for that one. I'm already jotting some down.
That's how you know it's a good one, when you start writing your answers down immediately. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Follow us on Instagram at OutOfTouchPcast. Follow us on TikTok at OutOfTouchMoments. And send us a fucking email at outoftouchcast@gmail.com.
Boom.
Bye. Fucking thing auto-adjusted.